What's going on, everybody? It's Chip Walton. I'm here with Paul Fowler, Chop and Brew Homebrew Club member and winner, medal winner, Paul Fowler.
Thank you.
We're here with Charlie P. We're doing something fun today. We're making meat sticks, snack sticks. What do you call them?
Chipotle sticks.
Chipotle sticks. But yeah, cheers again. The beer. I'm drinking his homebrew. He's drinking my homebrew. We're having a really good time hanging out. And like I said, he's won some medals. And I met him first time ever in Don O's backyard. And he brought some of these snack sticks with him, these Chipotle sticks. And I was mind blown. So it's taken a while to finally get here. But he invited us over to see how he makes these sticks. So tell me about the sticks. Why do you make them first and foremost?
Well, I really like them. They got a little bit of spice to them. It's a nice beef pork mixture. I think everybody can appreciate. I do sell some of them, but I don't do it for the money. I do it more for the reactions I get from people. Like when Chip had them, he ate one. He was like, "Yeah, that's pretty good," and then he had some more beer and had another one. He had another one. Oh, we gotta do an episode. That's what I'm shooting for.
That's how most episodes come to be too. It's like me being like, "Oh, we gotta do an episode." So it's the shearing factor and the dialing in of a process.
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
Yep, like brewing.
Running around with him in his house today, we realized there's a lot of things about making something like this that's like brewing. But first and foremost, what's the process? What have we seen today on this video?
Well, you'll see the grinding portion of it. Go to the mixing portion where you're putting spices and water and cure in there. And then you'll put in a stuffer and stuff it, and then we'll measure them out and get them ready for the smoker. We'll put them in the smoker, and then the various temp steps through that process to get them to the finish point. And then eventually out of the smoker into a water bath, and then up to hang and cure and then packaging. So you'll see the whole 9 yards. Well, in the beginning, I like to make them with. You can pretty much make them with anything you want. You just gotta have some fat in there. So I like to use pork shoulder, which they call Boston butt. So you just buy that, take the bone out, chunk it up in cubes, grindable cubes, and you can use whatever meat you want. You could use beef, you could use wild game. I've done it with duck, I've done it with elk, I've done it with deer. These are made out of beef. So I do a 70-30 mix. So you grind those up, and then you're gonna add your seasonings, cure, and enough water to make it easy to stuff them. Usually, I want to say like an ounce per pound. Usually I put in about 25 ounces of water for a 10-pound batch, and that's more than sufficient.
So the water, I didn't think about it. That was a lot of water, and at first I was like, why is he putting that in? You're saying that actually makes the meat pliable enough to be stuffed into the casing. If not, would it just...
It gets gummy.
Okay.
And you gotta really use a lot of force to get it out of the stuffer into the casing.
Okay.
So the more water you got, the more fluid it is.
Yeah, it came out super quick once you started stuffing them. I was like, whoa.
That was plenty of water. Today, I did some the other day and it wasn't quite enough, so I was struggling a little bit. I got it done either way.
What about that spice blend? Is it super ninja secret stuff?
Well, in the spirit of homebrew and sharing of things, I will share it with everybody. It's on the Bradley Smoker forum.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet. We'll put a link to it.
Yeah, we'll put a link to it. You were inspired by somebody on this forum, right?
Yeah, there's like brewing forums. I mean, they're a great source to go to for learning. And if it wasn't for that smoker forum, I would be nowhere near where I am today. So I have to give credit to what credit is due. And it's not my recipe, I just put it together. To
a guy named Greg.
Yeah.
Greg Spicy Beef Sticks.
Yeah.
So it's cayenne?
He uses chipotle pepper.
Yeah.
And then, which is a smoked jalapeno. And then there's cayenne in there, there's garlic salt, there's black pepper, Frank's Red Hot, a ton of salt, some sugar.
The Instacure is mega important. Right,
yes.
The pink stuff that we're seeing, sodium nitrate or nitrite, or but it's key to fighting off possible
funky
spoilage,
nasty,
right?
Nasty critters. So you're putting that thing in a warm, oxygen-voided environment where things like that can bloom. So you wouldn't want to take some uncured sausage, say Johnsonville for example, and put it in a smoker at the lower temps, as you could possibly be exposing yourself to botulism or some other nasty things. You can do that, but you gotta make sure you're in a high enough range, over 200 would be good. But we're not near those temps. We're doing a 130 temp step, a 160 temp, and a 172. After you get them stuffed, you get them ready for the smoker, and you put them in the smoker. You want to start out with no smoke, just a low temp to dry the casings off, because you don't want them all wet before you apply the smoke. Once you achieve that, then you can bump up the temp and start your smoke. So your smoke's rolling for however long you want. I usually do 2 hours of hickory.
The hickory in question is pucks. Not bricks, not chunks, not chips, right?
Yep. Well, it depends on your smoker. I mean, I have a Bradley, which takes pucks. So each one of these is 20 minutes. So you can mix and match. You can do whatever you like. It just depends on your system. You got to know your system. Just like brewing. I mean, your kettle is different, and your evaporation rate. You got to know your system. So you use whatever you use. Once that step is done, I will bump it up again to about 170, 172, and it'll sit there for the remainder of the time that it takes to get it to a finished internal temp. They say 152 is fully cooked. I always used to take them to 154 just to be safe. Take them out of there, put them in a water bath just to stop the cooking process, and then wipe them off and hang them up to dry.
And that's what we were talking, one of many ways that's like brewing. That's like different temperature steps for a totally different result, or a different effect on the result, right?
Yeah.
One of them's for drying, one of them's kind of for
applying the smoke. And the other one
is the finish.
Yeah, you want, because you want it ideally to be 154, in 150s. So if we kept it at 160, it would take forever and a day to get there. So you widen that range between where you want it and where your temp is, and it gets there quicker. But at the same time, you don't want to go too hot, because then you're going to sweat out fat. You need that fat in there, keep it moist. If you don't have enough fat, it's going to get mealy and crumbly, and it's not going to be very good.
So how long, all told, in the smoker generally for these?
8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
I usually go about 9.5. I've done it enough now with the sticks where I don't need a temp probe anymore. I used to do that, but because it's such a thin piece of meat, if you don't have the temp probe right in the middle and it's off this way or that way, for me, my system, 10 pounds, those temps, that amount of time, perfect.
As Dawson likes to say, your mileage may vary.
Yes.
YMMV. So we take them in, we took them upstairs, you hung them, you ice bathed them to stop the cooking process, right? You want it,
just cold water, no ice.
Okay, that's what I meant, water bath, cold water bath.
Yep.
Then you hung them on a super sophisticated hanging rod, very DIY, and then you cut them. Yeah, tell us about how you've kind of decided on your packaging over the years.
We use food saver bags.
Yeah, why is it still sealed?
Oh, we can open that.
Yeah, what's our problem?
There you go. The max that'll fit in there, I think, is about 6 inches, maybe a little more. But I only have so much height in my smoker. Thank you. And they're only ding. What'll fit in there for me is about 13 inches long because I only have so much height, which I wind up with about a 5.5 inch stick, which is fine. And then my wife had a key in the packaging. I just threw them all in there in one big clump. I said, good enough. She said, no, you gotta make them all nice and pretty.
Oh, flatten them out.
Yep, and seal them up. I gotta give credit where credit is due. It works very well, and especially for putting them away in the freezer, they put away much better that way.
So also like brewing, like we said, that sharing, that kind of moment where you see someone go from like, oh, you make your own beer? Oh my God, did you know this is beer? You're like, yeah, I made it. Mm-hmm. You give someone this, what do you think they're gonna get at first? Like, what do you think someone's like, okay, I'll try it.
Usually I'll bring them out and I just give them to them. I don't say anything. And I've been making them long enough. I've noticed that people fall in a couple groups. You either get the, oh my God, these are great, or you get the, yeah, these are good, or you get the guy who doesn't say anything. Sooner or later, that guy who doesn't say anything is going to come around to like, oh my God, these are great. It just takes time. But I like to see that progression. It's really rewarding.
They're so good. They're way smoky, just spicy enough. I personally could take a spicier one, but I don't know if it would be any purpose to it. These have the cheese, right?
Yep.
These have those little Swiss dices.
Yep.
So just like brewing again, you can add and remove elements, add and remove ingredients.
Yep, and I don't think Greg's recipe actually calls for cheese in it, so I think I put cheese in there one time because I made a snack stick, different snack stick, and happened to be eating some Swiss cheese at the same time. I'm like, wow, that's really great. Let's put those two together, and there you go.
What do you like about it? I mean, it took you 2 days to do, it took both your days off to go through this entire batch. It's a lot of commitment, but it's got to be fun too, right?
I do. I get a lot out of it. I enjoy them. I mean, I use these in the boat most of the time or share them with other people, but yeah, I get a lot of enjoyment on it. I don't want to do it every weekend off all year long or do it as a living.
It's just fun to kind of dial in a process, and he's got this meat log or smoking log, much like most of us keep a homebrewing log, and he's changing the poundage, changing the hours, what was the response, what was the reaction. So it's if you're one of those like incessant nerdy note takers like a lot of us are, it's just another thing to try.
Yeah,
just like we've done the bacon in the episodes before, and we hope to do many more. Dude's an award-winning homebrewer too, and he does all brew in a bag.
Yep, all brew in a bag.
Awesome. He's got 2 lagers and a lemon blonde on right now. So instead of trying to wedge too much into one episode, we're just going to come back and back and back till the meat sticks run out. Then we'll find someone else. Yeah, I appreciate you hosting me and Charlie P.
All right.
It was a great day off. It was a great reason to take a day off. So we're going to share Paul/Greg's recipe at chopandbrew.com/recipes, which will most likely just take you to a link at the Bradley Smoker forum page.
Right, and there's also a recipe site. There's a lot of good recipes for all kinds of smoking there, and good information for food safety and such.
And if you want to support Chop and Brew, grab you a nice shirt or a beanie or stickers or pint koozies or pint sleeves if you don't like the word koozie. Those are at chopandbrew.com as well. We got to give big shout outs to Brew Your Own Magazine, BYO. They support us. You subscribe to the link on our website to BYO, half that money comes back to Chop and Brew. So we want to thank them. We want to thank Denise Fowler for letting us run around her house. She wasn't here, but
is that word?
But it was nice of her to let us. And I want to thank Callie the cat for letting Charlie harass her all day.
Yeah.
Until the next time.
No blood was shed.
No blood was shed. Chop for chop.
Brew for brew.
Woo! Oh, you're empty, dude.
I know.
All right.
Hey, give me some more.
Have you ever put these in a Bloody Mary?
Guy at work does that.
Yeah?
That's all he does with them.
Yeah?
He'll buy everything I got. He goes, I'll take them all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta share with other people.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Someone's getting diarrhea tonight, y'all.
Oh no.
It's me.
Go outside.